Oh, hey, you're still here. I know, it's been a while since you have seen me in a recorded video format, and for that I sincerely apologize. I don't really know what happened. One moment I was saying that I was going to post every Tuesday, and then I just didn't. So we're going to talk about that today. For those of you who have been waiting around, still here, waiting for me to upload a video, or maybe you weren't really waiting for me to upload a video, but you're still here, so I'm going to say you're waiting for me to upload a video. This is that. We're going to talk a little bit about where I've been, because it's been a year, a little over a year, since I posted a video. We're going to talk about NaNoWriMo. We're going to give a writing update on where I am and where I'm going, and talk about whatever else comes to my mind, because I didn't really write a script for this video, not episode, and that's what we're gonna do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into the video. Hello, hi. I wanted to start off, I guess, with a life update, because I did not really intend to take a hiatus with recording and uploading videos. It wasn't a part of the plan. The plan was to continue to post on YouTube, continue to document my writing journey and my life journey and all of that fun stuff. Last night I was watching some of the last videos that I did upload, and the last video I uploaded was a recap of July's Camp NaNoWriMo last year and how I did and everything, and I was on such a high of finishing the 2 books in my cozy fantasy. July last year was like a really intense month, and I got a lot done, and it was a lot mentally and emotionally too, and there was a lot going on in that video that I talked about. So I was looking through some of the videos that I have on my phone, because since I've not uploaded, I still take out my phone and record moments and things that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use this for a video one day. I didn't use it for a video, so it's still just on my phone. So I went back and watched some of those, and I'll include them somewhere in this video. Either you already saw those clips or I will insert them after at a certain point, but I wanted to kind of see where my head was at to kind of get some more clarity of why I wasn't posting any videos. And yeah, so I don't know. I had a couple of ideas for this first video back. I was going to do the AuthorTube hiatus tag that Sarah Wrights came up with when she came back from her hiatus from YouTube. So I'm probably going to include some of those questions in this video, but for the moment, I kind of just want to give a life update, or should I just integrate that with the questions? I think that would help give me some structure and direction. I will link Sarah's channel down in my description box. The first question, please reintroduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you write, and anything interesting you may want to share. So hello, my name is Morgan Lee. I am an indie author, and I write under the genres of fantasy, science fiction, and I'm dipping my toes into romance and then eventually horror. So I like to write in a multitude of genres because I like to challenge myself, and I haven't really found a home yet in which genre I most enjoy. As I'm saying that, that's kind of a lie. I kind of veer towards fantasy, and especially things with darker themes. So dark fantasy, I have a horror in the works. It's not like drafted, so that one's a little, it's not a genre that I'm solid in yet. Fantasy, I feel like it's just my go-to. So those are the genres that I write in, and I like to also dabble into multiple age categories. So young adult romance, so young adult, and middle grade are the age categories that I like to write in. And I am also a freelance editor, so I edit the same genres that I like to write in. And the type of editing that I offer is developmental editing and line editing. And that is me. That is what I write and what I do. A little bit more just about me personally. I am a disabled writer. I have Crohn's disease, I am autistic, and I have ADHD and OCD. So I am all types of neurodivergent. I am 34 years old. For my career, I work with adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, giving them more access into finding things that they enjoy in their community. And it is a job that I really love. That kind of will go into my little life update about where I've been and what I've been doing. But that is a little bit more about me. Okay, question number 2. Where have you been and when did you leave? Okay, so where have I been? So I haven't posted a video in about a year. The last video I uploaded was on August 1st, and it was a Camp NaNoWriMo wrap-up of how my July 2023 camp went. One camp that year. Yay. I'll talk about Nano later. But, so I haven't really posted a video since then, but I have done a few different live streams. I've done productivity sprints since then, and I've also participated, I think, in Michael C.B. Chin's write-a-thon. I think I did a Storyteller's Hearth write-a-thon stream during that year gap. I've done Author to Poetry open mic night with our author J.C. Carpenter that we do 3 times a year, and at the end of April, July, and November. So I've done things on YouTube. I've been on YouTube. I've been on my friends' streams. I've participated in write-a-thons, participated in the AuthorTube writing conference. So I've been on YouTube, but I just haven't made it any kind of recorded sit-down videos and content. So I've been here, but I haven't posted a recorded video in about a year. And since then, a lot has changed in my life. So as I was going through those videos on my phone that I just like recorded randomly to like process emotions or whatever to use for a clip later, it was just the end of 2023. It was a lot of feeling very overwhelmed, very disconnected. OCD was OCDing, anxiety was awful, and I hated my job, and I hated my life, and I hated a lot, and I was feeling very trapped in my house and all this stuff, because since the pandemic, since 2020 all the way up until 2023, I really didn't leave my house very much. Again, as I said at the top, I have a chronic illness. I have Crohn's disease, and I'm on I'm on medicine that suppresses my immune system. So through all of that, like high risk, stay away from people, stay home, quarantine, blah, blah, blah. So during that time, OCD got its claws deep inside of me, and a lot of things became unsafe, and my world became so much smaller. You know, like stop going to church, of course, like physically going to church, and it used to be like a really big part of my life. And every day, like twice on Sundays, once on Wednesdays, Friday night, Bible study, my routine, like that was a part of like my identity. So my world had become so small. I hated my job. I was getting bad like reviews because it wasn't a call center, but I worked on the phones, and I had to talk to a lot of people. So we had these, you know, call evaluations or whatever, where we get evaluated every week, that we had to sit with our supervisor, and they would tell us how awful we were, because it was never good stuff. It was like, well, you didn't say thank you, you didn't sound happy enough, and it was just all of these things that were just really like nitpicky things that just made you feel like you were one step from being fired, like you were just the worst employee ever, even when you're doing things, you're not doing anything that's not business appropriate. Like you're not being unprofessional, you're not cussing people out on the phone, you're not doing anything wrong, you're doing you're doing as the job is required, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do. But it was like a nitpicking on things like tone of voice, and you didn't say thank you here, you didn't, I don't know. It was very, very demoralizing things, and I felt like I was being targeted. I don't like being on the phone. I hated being on the phone. I hated the job. Anyway, we don't need to get into, but it was awful. It was an awful job. and I didn't like it, and I just felt like my world was continuing to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink on me, because I was working from home. And then since I wasn't going to church anymore because I was still so obsessed with like contamination and the idea of getting sick, that I was too scared to go out and like hang out with anybody. The most I hung out would probably be like the AuthorTube little writing retreats that me and a couple of my friends do or have done for the past, I think now 3 years, was probably the only time that I've gotten out. It was either Rhett and Link getting me to go somewhere. They got me to go to Texas to go to Mythicon, or it was NF getting me to get out and go to his concerts. I went to one in Lincoln and went to one here where I live, or it was my friends getting me out and us coming together for a writing retreat. Those were like huge things that I had to gear up to do, but other than that, my world had become so small, and I felt like I was just physically trapped, like physically in prison, physically, not in prison, but you know what I mean. Like I was just trapped. It was awful. So the video, like I was watching these videos, and it were a lot of me just like crying as I'm working, because I was recording myself while I was working. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I can't keep doing this. And I was like, I just need to get out. I need to get out. I need to get out. So during that time, I was looking for jobs that were out of the house, but that were worthwhile, that spoke to a part of my soul, a part of my identity. Like I really loved working at the school. I loved working with autism. I love working with autistic kids, because with them, I didn't have to mask. With them, I didn't have to pretend to be something. I could just vibe and be me, because we were both autistic. So we're like, there was a vibe that is not with people who are autistic or people who are not autistic. It's not as easy as some relationships with autistic people. So I really missed that type of relationship. So I wanted to come into a career that I could actually grow into. So put in a bunch of applications. My therapist recommended a company. She was recommending the company to help me find a job, but I ended up just getting a job at the company. The job is very different than anything I feel like I have done. There is a lot of exposure therapy related to the job that I have, because I have to do a lot of driving, and I had so much driving anxiety where I would get panic attacks every single time I was behind the wheel, no matter if I just drove down the street to McDonald's or drove a long distance. I had, just the anxiety of being around people without masks on, and because I being around people without masks on, driving people in my car places, and going into work at an office, and all of these things that I had gotten away from, that had become so dangerous, seemingly dangerous to me, that I've had to work through. And I don't know. So like over the past year, I just haven't had any time to devote to YouTube, or even my writing. We'll talk about that later. Or writing, or marketing, all that stuff. Like I didn't have any time to devote to my writing career. I had to step away from a lot of stuff that was very important to me, like the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast. We recorded my last episode for our podcast that will come out the end of December, but I just do not have the time to give the podcast like what it needs, and I don't want to be a hindrance or a burden to like Shannon and Ben, my co-hosts. So I took a step back from streaming on Mondays, or just streaming at all, and I haven't really streamed on a regular basis since, I don't remember when. I don't know if I streamed at all this year on like a regular recurring basis. So I haven't streamed. I stepped away from the podcast that I was on. The only thing I still currently do is the writer's room with Barrett and Tiffany. And just like, I don't know, just with life, I feel like, I don't know, I had to strip a lot of the stuff away so that I could focus on healing. Because with the job, I'm trying to, it's my first time supervising. So I'm trying to be the best supervisor I can be. I'm trying to integrate into the culture of the company that I work for. I'm trying to work through OCD. I'm trying to work through driving anxiety. I'm trying to work through the physical limitations of my body and like my heart racing thing. And my heat intolerance, and like I'm trying to work through all of these physical limitations that my body has and this mental limitations that my body has, and grow as a person. And it's been hard, but it's been rewarding. Literally, I could not drive from my house to McDonald's, and anyone who watches me on any of my friends' streams, I can make a McDonald's run in like 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. It's literally across the street. I can be there in like 2 minutes. I could not drive there without a panic attack, without anxiety, without feeling like I'm gonna pass out behind the wheel and then gonna die. If you remember, I think I unlisted it, but I posted a video in 2022 of my panic attack, of me having like all the anxiety of me being in the car and driving to somewhere. I think I was driving to an appointment to get an iron infusion, and the panic attack that happened in that like drive. So yeah, it was really bad. Fast forward to now, where last month I drove from my home 2 hours away to have our retreat by myself. I drove 2 hours there and then 2 hours back home at the end of the week by myself, and I didn't have a panic attack. That is growth. That is healing. That is progress. And those are the things. That's where I've been. That's where I've been. I've been learning my new job. I've hopefully been excelling. I asked my supervisor yesterday, like, how am I doing? She said that I could work on my communication and assertiveness. Was like, okay, cool. I will work on that. I like to know where I am. I don't want to assume, because my mind would be like, everybody hates me. So I asked her what I need to work on. So I'm going to work on that. She's leaving in December. So I want to have me solid and our team solid before she leaves, so that without a doubt, like, we'll still continue to grow in her absence. So yeah, so that's where I've been. I think there's a question on writing, so we'll skip that, but that's where I've been. I've been learning my job. I've been learning how to deal with OCD. I've been making big wins and doing things, stepping away from some projects in order to make more space in my life. And we are going to continue with question number 3. What do you write, and has that changed since you left? So I mentioned this at the top. I write fantasy, science fiction, romance, and horror. The things that are new are romance and horror. Before, my writing was just fantasy and science fiction. Since then, I have created a paranormal romance pen name that I haven't done anything with yet, but I have several stories outlined for. I have a middle grade work in progress that is horror, and those are kind of the newer things. Everything else is pretty much the same. So fantasy, I have the Seedlings trilogy that is currently not on sale right now. I'm editing some things in the front and back matter of books 1 and 2. And then book 3 is on a little bit of a pause. It was supposed to come out earlier this year. And again, with everything that I have been, transitioning into, it had to also take a pause and just wait a little bit on those. But I have so many works in progress. I have a whole video planned where I'm going to go through every work in progress that I have. But those are the things that I write. I didn't say this, but I also write poetry. If you want to hear some of my poetry, you can rewatch some of the AuthorTube poetry open mic nights that I do with JC. Some are on her channel and some are on my channel. So subscribe to both of us and then go watch those, because some fantastic poets, not just us, but lovely people in the AuthorTube community. So That is what I write. Okay, question number 4. Why come back now? Why come back at all? I have been on YouTube technically since 2014. This is not new for me to leave for a long time and then come back, because I like posting videos. I like interacting with the comments. I like having like a little video diary to go back and look of where I've been and where I'm going. It's kind of fun, and it's a way to keep me accountable for the things that I want to do and say that I'm going to do. And I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of videos, ideas that have been in the brain for a long time, and just things that keep happening in the author community that I want to talk about, and just in life that I want to talk about. So I have a lot to say. This channel is not just an AuthorTube channel. This channel is just a me channel where I will talk about disability, chronic illness, religion sometimes, and kind of tie it all back to writing because those are the things that I write about as well. So the next couple of questions, I don't feel like really pertain to me because I was still here on live streams. I just wasn't here on recorded content. So the next question says, what did you like most about the community before your hiatus? I feel like I've still been here, you know, like I don't feel like it's changed very much since this hiatus. I've been on AuthorTube since 2016. On YouTube, I was on BookTube kind of in 2014. But 2016, I've been a part of the AuthorTube community. I mean, tag videos. I mean, I thought tag videos were fun, but not a lot of people do them anymore, which is fine. So I don't really miss them. Just things change, people grow, content shifts, and I think that's fine. I don't think those really pertain. And then the next question is have you changed your posting schedule? What is your posting schedule? I didn't have a posting schedule, and I still don't have a posting schedule. I'm going to try to post once a week. No specific day, just one video a week. But again, I don't want to make you guys false promises. We're just going to wing it. We're going to go. So we're going to the next question, which is, were you on a hiatus from writing, or was this a social media specific hiatus? This was a social media, well, not really. This was a recorded content hiatus because live streams were easier and I didn't have to edit. But writing, I still wrote. I wrote a lot of poetry. I did not revise the 2 drafts of the cozy that I finished in July. Revision is in process for that first one, but I did finish Seed Among Good Ground, first draft. Still revising. It's not really a first draft. The last half of the book is a first draft. The first half of the book is like a 4th draft because I go back and edit and then I continue, because if I don't know the beginning, it's not, I don't know. I just like to go back and do that. I've written since I've been away. This is question 10. I stopped counting, but this is question 10. What did you learn about yourself and or writing while you were away? And I've learned so much while I was away, because I said this already, but while I was away, I have done a lot of therapy work with OCD, combating my anxiety, getting out in the world, becoming a functional human being. I was going to say again, but I've never really been a functional human being. But becoming a functional human being again, I guess, and kind of taking control back of my life because I felt really out of control. And learning to let go of the things that I will never have control over. Again, OCD. You kind of really just want to control every aspect of your life, and you feel like every decision or non-decision that you make is going to have a drastic impact on your life. And that's just not true. Just not true. So I've learned a lot about OCD, how mine works, how my mind works, and the methods that are most beneficial for me to break through the block and to cross back over the bridge from imagination land. And that is an ICBT therapy model, I think, or either my therapist made it up. I don't think she made it up. I think it's part of the ICBT, a form of OCD therapy. You have reality, and then you have imagination land, and there's a bridge that connects the two. And then oftentimes with OCD, you travel over that bridge and you live in imagination land, and you need to get back over into reality. So anyway, I've learned a lot with that. I also learned about myself in how I process goals and how I work best with getting things done. And have-tos and expectations are a surefire way to kill my motivation. Last year, 2023, was my year of wander, because I wanted to let go of all of the expectations that people had on me. I have to do this, I have to do that, and I just wanted to like exist and live. And upon reflection, I don't feel like, anyway, but have to's, expectations kill my motivation. And I've also learned that it is okay to shift. It is okay to say no, which is something that I always knew. Yeah, and I also learned that I don't have to go at the same pace as my friends and as people that I look up to as far as self-publishing goes. And I just feel like I'm at my own pace, my own journey, my own trajectory. Like the Seedlings trilogy will be done when it's done. Cozy will be done when it's done. That I can do my own thing and that it's fine. And then the next question is, actually the last question is, have your author goals changed? My author goals have changed. Originally, I was all self-publishing. I was just going to do indie publishing, and I didn't want to query. But now, and it's kind of because I got FOMO, because there's so many people in the AuthorTube community that are getting their book deals, and I'm just like, you go. I'm so excited for you, but I kind of want that too. I want to get an agent. I want to sell a book. I want to sell a book. So I have so many works in progress that I will be doing self-publishing. And then I have a whole other set of works in progress that I am going to query and that I want to traditionally publish. Again, the paranormal romance pen name, which will be indie published, and they're going to be short fiction. Again, the FOMO, because a lot of my friends are writing these romance shorts and they're so fun to read. And the one I'm working on has been a lot of fun to write, and I'm really excited about the concept. So I have that, and on my notes here I have less business and more fun. Obviously business has to come into it too, but I think I don't want to be so serious and like anxious. Like I think my anxiety plays into like my author career, because I'm like, I have to do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that, I gotta market this way, I have to do this. And I'm thinking about all the things that I have to do that I'm not having any fun with it. So yeah, less business, more fun. And I agree with the past me that wrote this note. That is my video. That's where I've been. That's what's going on. And since this is very long, I'm going to not talk about Nano in this video, and we're going to talk about it in another video, or we're not going to talk about it at all. So that's all I got for this video, because it's really long. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched the whole thing, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and we'll see you next time with another video.